Now, Tajikistan is hosting a regional security summit on Afghanistan. Today, day 2 of the Dushanbe Security Dialogue, India is being represented by National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. Taking part in the Security Dialogue, India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval underscored India's position on the Afghanistan situation. Doval emphasized on how India has always stood by the people of Afghanistan, has further focused on infrastructure connectivity and humanitarian assistance over decades. Now, the Indian NSA further reiterated the need for a fully inclusive government that can safeguard the rights of women, children, minority communities in Afghanistan. Doval further sought cooperation of his counterparts for ensuring that Afghanistan's territory is not used to carry out terror strikes in the region, which has been India's primary concern since Taliban's return to office in Kabul. And on the sidelines of the regional meet on Afghanistan, the Indian National Security Advisor also met with his Russian counterpart in Dushanbe. This is the first time the NSAs of India and Russia have met since Russia-Ukraine conflict. This is also the fourth regional security dialogue on Afghanistan. The last one, hosted in India on the 10th of November, saw strong emphasis on keeping Afghanistan terror-free and asserted on how Afghanistan's territory should not be used for terrorism, for training or even financing any terrorist acts.
For holding and hospitalizing the third round of these discussions.
Now, for more on this, we're now being joined by our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal from New Delhi. Siddhant, thank you for joining us. Now, India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval underscored India's position on Afghanistan situation. What can you tell us about this?
Well, a significant meeting that happened in Dushanbe today was the main day of engagement where, of course, the Indian NSA basically reiterated India's policy when it comes to dealing with Afghanistan, especially since Taliban takeover. There was, of course, the key point that was being mentioned, that is formation and inclusive government. That is something that not only New Delhi but other countries in the region have also been calling on Taliban to make sure that there is an inclusive government, especially highlighting that the rights of minorities, women should be respected. But also, the Indian NSA talked about the special relationship India and Afghanistan has, and this is something that will continue, whether it is the previous government, the Afghan Republic, and of course the special linkages between people of India and the people of Afghanistan. Now, this is important because India has not recognized the regime in Kabul since Taliban takeover. We know that there hasn't been any kind of recognition from New Delhi, but New Delhi has continued to support people of Afghanistan by sending vaccines, by sending wheat, by sending winter clothing, and of course polio vaccines as well. So this is something that will continue. But on the sidelines, there were ample of opportunities meeting with other NSAs, including the NSA of Russia, which is another significant aspect of this meeting, given that this is the first in-person meeting between the two NSAs since the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Right. Now, also, like you mentioned as well, ensuring that Afghanistan's territory is not used to carry out terror strikes in the region. This, of course, has been a major concern that India has voiced previously as well. What sort of cooperation and action can we expect in this regard?
Well, there has been a lot of talks, conversations, making sure that Afghanistan does not become a safe haven for terrorists. India in the past has been saying that whatever be the color of the regime in Kabul, the territory should not be used against India, should not provide safe havens to Pakistan-based terror groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. But it's very difficult to basically make sure that this doesn't happen. There are reports of how many Pakistan-based terror groups have moved to the Af-Pak border and inside Afghanistan. There has been regional calls. In fact, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization has been multiple times saying that, but only time will tell whether the regime in Kabul, the Taliban regime, will essentially make sure that Afghanistan does not become a terror safe haven, something that it was previously when Taliban was in the power.
Right. All right, Siddhant, thank you so much for bringing us all the updates on this. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.